Yeah, bang bang well, just a little video. I keep saying it and it goes on for about half an hour, but just a little one. Harry Starbuck, mate, you know what I mean? Harry Starbuck. No one sort of talks about Harry Starbuck. I know I've mentioned him a few times. You know, Roy Shaw bashed him up, beat him in the first round, knocked him out. But listen, Harry Starbuck was a very, very respectful and a nice guy. He can have a fight, mate. Don't worry about that. He can have a fight in the street. Anybody that does this unlicensed fighting or boxing can get hit on the chin first second of the first round and get knocked out. It's not, you know, it's not just to say that you're a better man. It's just that you hit the man on the chin at the right time. So it happens, yeah. It doesn't mean to say that Roy Shaw was better than Harry Starbuck. Believe me, Harry Starbuck could have a right fight. And not only could Harry Starbuck have a right fight, he was involved with some heavy people. He was involved with Eddie Richardson. Eddie Richardson and Charlie Richardson looked after Harry Starbuck. You know, or vice versa. Harry's done a lot of their enforcer work, so he couldn't have been a fool, and he'd done it all by himself. Even though Eddie Richardson and Charlie did get hold of Jimmy to do some enforcer work, but there was a little bit of a conflict because Jimmy was always around Harry Hayward, always around Billy Hayward, and you forget that Billy and Harry Hayward had conflicts with Eddie and Charlie Richardson in Smiths. So there was that conflict. It's a funny old turn. It's like similar as Frankie Fraser and the Craze. He knew part of the family of the Craze, so he'd be round there, and yet he was with the Richardsons. So, you know what I mean? It was more so with the Richardsons than he was with the Craze, but he still went over there to see him and to talk to the dad or the uncle or whatever it was. So it makes it like that. You don't know what to talk about, do you? You know, one's talking about one thing, the other's talking about the other thing, and they don't know whether to keep it quiet or let it go out and start a war, you know, because one's talking about the other one anyway. So Harry Starbuck was with Charlie and Eddie, and Harry Starbuck never went out of that circle. He never went out of that circle. I met Harry Starbuck through Jimmy Tippett, you know, down the Harvey Social Club, Woolwich, yeah? That's how I met Harry. And after that, then I met Harry a few times more when I used to go down the pub and talk to him. Big man, Harry Starbuck, mate. Powerful man. And he could have a fight. I mean, listen, any man that had pubs, you know, look after the pub, make sure it's okay, move on to another pub. But Harry Starbuck, any trouble in the pubs, he sorted it out all himself. That's the sort of man. And there was a lot of what? How can I say? Not to say travellers. Travellers is the right word. I don't know, gypsies, travellers. You know, loads of them around there, and they don't muck about. Look what they've done to Cliff Fields. They bashed up Cliff Fields. Didn't bash him up, but they catapulted him in the eye with a bit of glass, and he got blind. Or did they stab him in the eye with a bottle or a glass and he got blind? So Harry Starbuck took a lot on his plate. But when I used to go and see Harry Hayward and Billy Hayward, I swear, them two are the funniest people that you can meet. But they're very dangerous. They own a big club, or called Cheeks. Anybody that owns clubs are dangerous people, because they have dangerous people around them all the time, 24/7 in a way, yeah, because the clubs, the people that go in the clubs. And so when I used to go in there with Jimmy Tippett, you know, and walk around the clubs and meet people through Harry and Bill, don't forget, I met Bill also in Maidstone prison, you know, because I knew Bill on the outside, but also met him in Maidstone, you know what I mean? So it's a bit funny, you know what I mean? Me and Bill was close. We was close, but not as close. We should have been a lot more closer than we was, yeah? But as I say, Jimmy Tippett Jr., he's a lucky boy to have a dad like that, yeah? Like Jimmy Tippett Sr. He's a lucky boy to have that. He's a legend. You know, your dad's a legend, you know, and people who write books write about Jimmy Tippett. Like, I'm writing a book, it's done now, The book's done as such, yeah. We've done 100,000 words. We're just reading it through. We've done 55,000 now, so we've got another 45,000 to go, plus solicitors and adding it and taking it out. So we've got a little bit longer yet, but we're getting to the end of it. And Jimmy Tippett is in my book because he was with me lots and lots of times when I was in Lewisham. He looked after me, and we worked together with Big Cliff Fields. More like, I think Cliff Fields is also in my book. He must be, yeah. You know, so I mean, I talk about Cliff Fields all the time because Cliff Fields, to me, is a big legend. Harry Starbuck is a big legend. Harry Starbuck wrote a book. I believe these people, they're legends, and they should never be forgot, mate. It's like Harry Hayward, Billy Hayward. They should never ever be forgot because not only was they legends, they were funny people. You could have a laugh with them. You could go in the pub and just have a laugh. Come on, to go in the pub. I know I've said it before, but to go in the pub and to go downstairs into the basement and to see a prison cell in there with a bed and everything in it, it's a bit over the top, isn't it? You know what I mean? But is it? Because when you go in it and you lock that door, think about it. When they lock that door and you're thinking, oh, hold up, this is a 24/7 thing. This is 24/7. This is something, if anything goes wrong for me, I'm banged up in there 24/7 for the rest of my 10 years, 12 years. You know, you're banged up for 24/7 in a cell, 8 by 10 or whatever it is, for 10 years. Okay, you let out now and again, but you're still in your cell more so than anything, yeah? And you know, and thinking like that, I think that was a fantastic way to do it. That was a fantastic way. Harry and Bill had the right way to do it. When I went into Cheeks, you know, with Jimmy, I went everywhere with Jimmy Tippett. Everywhere I went with Jimmy Tippett to see all these people, to meet these people, to meet legends like Terry Coombs, like Terry Sharp, like Gypsy Tom, like Big George. I mean, these people are legends. Charlie Richardson, to go around his house, sit there with Charlie, and there he is playing with his little dogs, his little white dogs. You know, French dogs, like a French, beautiful long-haired dog. I think poodles, I'm not quite sure what they're better, little white dogs, yeah. And to go around there and meet these legends, they're legends, mate. Eddie Richardson, a legend. To meet Eddie face to face. And don't forget, when I met Eddie Richardson was a proper man. Do you know what I mean? I ain't seen him for like 30 years now. You know, maybe 30 years. You know, you've got to remember, he was a proper man 35 years ago. Them people, mate, was, you know, proper geezers. You know, it's the same as Billy Hayward, and Harry Hayward. They were proper legends, mate. Them two, proper legends. They had so much respect. Everybody you talk to, listen, you mention their names, everybody go, yeah, I know Harry, I know Bill. They were gentlemen. You couldn't muck about with them. They was really dangerous, you know what I mean? Which they was. All that lot over Lewisham, Bermondsey, Woolwich, Thetford, all round these Catfords, all these places, yeah, were proper gangsters. All fantastic armed robbers. All them people around there in areas are really good armed robbers. It's Acton, what I come from, no, they was all fighters. Except for Jimmy Wilkinson, Mickey Green, Bertie Smalls, Brian Turner, all that lot, Dave Delaney's, all that lot was involved with the Wilkinson lot, the Wembley lot. They was proper gangsters, armed robbers, but there wasn't many more of them. There wasn't many more of them in Lewisham, in Acton. So Lewisham, Deptford, Catford, Woolwich, and all round there, they had big firms. Bermondsey had some big firms in there, big armed robbers, you know what I mean? Like mentioning no names, I mean, Peter Kelly, you got the Harris, didn't you? You got all the Harris brothers. They was really heavy, mate. The Harris brothers. I mean, when I went to work, mate, they went to work with the proper things. They didn't muck about. They didn't go around with shotguns. They went with proper AK-47s and automatic, proper things. They didn't muck about with silly cap guns. They went prepared, mate. They went for hand grenades a lot. They didn't muck about, mate. They were the top armed robbers at that time. Then you had all the gold bullion lot come from around them areas, Burma's the area. All come from around them areas, mate. All come from around them areas. West London didn't have none of that. West London didn't have nothing like that at all. Not, all they had was fighters, good fighters, the markets and all that. And then you had North London, there was good fighters in North London, dangerous people. South East London, rather. East London, you had the Barrys, didn't you? You had the Barry brothers. You had the Adamses as such. You had, who else? You had Alan Dixon's, the Dixon brothers. There was families like it goes out of fashion. And I've met every one of these families, who they are. The only ones I haven't met, maybe I haven't met, is Davey Hunt. Maybe I've seen Davey Hunt. Maybe I've seen Davey Hunt in the clubs and haven't took no notice of him, because why take notice of someone that's not causing any problems? He might have said to me, he's called Davey Hunt, but they might say, whatever, because I don't know him. If they'd have said, it's Pat Adams over there, I go, it's all right, Pat, how you going, mate? Because I know him. Like Bobby Dixie. Them Pete, Bobby Dixie's and all them Pete. I mean, listen, I had some good mates in prison. I met some good gangsters in prison, some good people, yeah. But to come out of there and meet people like Jimmy Tippett, and Harry Hayward and Billy Hayward, Eddie Richardson, Charlie Richardson, Coombses, Sharps, Gypsy Tom, Big George, and all them sort of people, mate. Nice people, even though that I want to work with these people. I want to work as an enforcer with Cliff Fields and done plenty of damage, hurt a lot of people, but got the money, always got the money back that people owed. And then I went somewhere else as an enforcer, moved on to another big company. When I come out of prison again, I moved on to a bigger company as an enforcer. I look back at all these times, and all the good times that I had. I had some good times, with these people. Going to all the clubs, for Denzies, Power Joeys, Blondes, Bootleggers, what's the names? I forget all the names. I forget Blondes and Brown. I forget all the names. There's so many of them. You get tongue-tied, and to think that every weekend I was the guy out of all this lot, maybe 4 or 5 of them, 6 of them, and go right the way through till Sunday night, Monday morning, and not drink and not take a drug. And that ain't easy, believe me, that ain't easy. So you can imagine in the end, I got into a little bit of coke here and there to stay awake. It wasn't an addiction, it was a little bit here, a little bit there. And Jake, who owned Brown's, yeah, I know Jake very well, like Jake, and I got in with Jake, talked to Jake about Elton John's and all these sort of things. And listen, I had some good times, mate. I had some good times, and I'd love more than anything to go back to them times, but not back to the way I was. Just go back and have a look at them, to sort of like now stop the clock and go back and look at them times, look at the people I was with, look at all I'd done. It's a joke. Do you know what? It was so nice to meet all these people. We all talk about them on YouTube. People talk about them all the time, but I bet you there's 99.9% of them people on YouTube that hasn't met one of them. Maybe one, maybe in prison, but on the street as well. I've met them on the street. I shook their hands. I've been to work with these people. I've done work for them. You know what I mean? And it's just fantastic. And to have people like Cliff Fields, you know, on you. And Columbo, you know what I mean? Columbo is a fantastic geezer. And Roy Shaw, you know what I mean? Lenny McLean. Lenny McLean, big legend. And I was only talking about it today, about people that wear suits. Lenny McLean. Every time I see Lenny, he was always crisp, smart. And when he got big, he got really big, 20 odd stone, yeah. There was a lot of respect there. I wouldn't like him for maybe then I wouldn't have liked to have fought him, you know what I mean? But mind you, I was 19 stone at that time, so I don't know. You know, there's so much said about me and Len. I've got big respect for Lenny McLean, big respect. This guy was a gentleman as such, yeah. A lot of people say I was a bully. Listen, a lot of people are bullies to people they can bully. And then there's people they can't bully, so you know they don't become the bully with that person, so you don't really see it, yeah. You don't see it. But you know what I see in Lenny, he done a lot of shouting, all that game. Of course, it's an act, isn't it? It's part of his act, isn't it? You know, look at Dave Courtney. Be fair, come on. You know, it's part of Dave Courtney act, isn't it? I mean, I remember Dave Courtney used to talk like me. Now he talks like this. Oh, yeah, again. So, where's that come from? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's like all these people I've met, mate, and the best people I've met is my mate Mickey Gooch. I mean, you know, he was different cat the fish, mate. He was a different sort of guy. You know, he was like my brother, mate. Mickey Gooch, and I ruined it. My fault. Took liberties. Well, I shouldn't have took liberties. I got on crack cocaine. Didn't have no respect for anybody. Didn't care. I didn't care who they were, what they were. It didn't bother me. I wasn't bothered. You know, I was like a one-man band, mate. A one-man band that just went round doing my own thing. Didn't care about anybody. You know what I mean? But in the end of it, you know, I lost good people. I made good enemies as well, you know. But that's what I did. You know, I was a bit of a fool in a way to lose that, yeah. But I had some really, really good people around me, and I spoiled it all. I was a fool to myself. But anyway, it isn't about that. It was about Harry Hayward and Billy Hayward. You know, you've got some good people behind. I had some good people behind me, mate. I get them dogs out there. Them dogs are murder, mate. But you know, like you get. I mean, how many people do I know? I mean, I've got here a list, loads of people. But I ain't talking about them now. I'll talk about them another day. But you know, Harry Starbuck, all that lot over there. Harry, Eddie Richardson, Charlie Richardson, Jimmy Tippett, Harry Hayward, Billy Hayward, all that lot, Big George. You know, Terry Coombs, Terry Sharp. Gypsy Tom, all them people over there were proper men. And I was involved in it with Cliff Fields and Jimmy Tippett. It's just like to say that Harry, I loved Harry. I loved Bill, mate. Proper people, rest in peace you two. Good people. Very hard people. Very dangerous. Very dangerous, you know what I mean? I mean, people that go around shooting people are dangerous. You know what I mean? And they didn't care, mate. They didn't care. They had clubs, they had club cheeks, but not only did they have the club cheeks, they also had snooker clubs, and they also had spills. I mean, spills. I mean, there should be lots of trouble in spills. That's where me and Jimmy Tippett and Lenny McLean, Jimmy Tippett and Cliff Fields used to work in the spills, debt collecting. Enforcers. Yeah. Anyway, this is Bang Bang Radio. Please press the like button and subscribe. I've got so many stories about Harry Hayward and Billy Hayward, really. You know, we used to have some fun, mate, going to different clubs, different pubs. Anyway, thanks very much, and good night. Yeah, nice one.